Hey guys, welcome back to another review. Today I am reviewing Waves, starring Kelvin Harrison Jr., Lucas Hedges, Taylor Russell, Alexa Demie, and Sterling K. Brown, and was directed by Trey Edward Schultz, the director of It Comes at Night, and is about the journey of a suburban family led by a well-intentioned but domineering father as they navigate love, forgiveness, and coming together in the aftermath of a loss. Sort of. That's the bare bones plot, but there's a lot more that happens in this movie. It's technically two movies in one. One half is about someone else. The other half is about someone else. It's like Place Beyond the Pines, only except it's not with acts. It's just with halfway through the movie. Just the last half of the movie and the first half are completely different main characters. Why is the movie like that? I'm not gonna say because it's a huge spoiler, and I didn't see it coming, so I'm not gonna spoil it. But okay, let's talk about what I liked about Waves. The acting, really good. Really strong performances here. All of them are really good. Sterling K. Brown's excellent in the movie. Kelvin Harrison Jr., very good. He tugged at my heartstrings a bit. Everyone was great in the movie. What can I say? No one was bad. They were all really good. I've not one performance felt out of place. They were all good. The directing, Trey Edward Schultz directed this film, and he directed It Comes at Night, one of my favorite horror films. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out. It's not an apocalyptic thriller. I mean, it's an apocalyptic movie, but it's not supernatural or anything. Don't expect it to be like a standard horror film. It's a way different than that. But yeah, the directing in this movie is very solid. It's always very energetic, very fluid, and the camera actually moved. I didn't expect it to move that much. But the movie, it looks fantastic. It looks wonderful. The cinematography is amazing. Like, this is one of the best looking films of 2019 when this movie came out, and holy crap, it looks awesome. Like seriously, the movie looks very blue, and it looks excellent. It looks so amazing. Like, this movie has great cinematography. It's from the same cinematographer as It Comes at Night, and it shows. So It Comes at Night had excellent cinematography too. This movie has even better. This movie looks gorgeous. And the score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross is excellent, very powerful and emotional. But it's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. They're great composers. I think they won for Soul. I think they won an Oscar recently for Soul, which is great because they deserved it. That was the best music up for that. I still don't think Nomadland should have won Best Picture, but that's just me. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Waves. All right, so Waves. Is it any good? I think so. I think it's a good film. It's yeah, basically everything about it technically is amazing. It's flawless in that aspect. Story aspect, not so much. I mean, it's a good story, but it's kind of hard to talk about it without actually spoiling anything. Because a lot of stuff happens in this movie that was not mentioned in the plot summary. The plot summary is just the bare bones structure of what the movie technically is. But a large majority of this movie is not that. The movie, I don't really want to spoil it. Sorry, a lot of my negatives of the movie actually are spoilers. Something happens, the loss. That was intense. And it was well executed. But then after that happens, the movie gets interesting, and then something else happens, and the most interesting aspect of the movie is taken away for the rest of the movie. And then we're focusing on something else that's nowhere near as interesting. If you know what I mean. A character is gone. Not dead. Goes away halfway through the movie. And you never see him again until one shot towards the end. And then we focus on another character that's nowhere near as interesting. It's very similar to that Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper film, Place Beyond the Pines, which is an excellent movie. I highly recommend it. Very underrated. It's excellent. You should go check that one out. It's very similar to that, only except less interesting, because Place Beyond the Pines was very interesting with how they did it. This movie, it just kind of felt like a bait and switch. Like I was very invested in this one character's story, the character that we are following through the first half of the film. Then something happens, and then he's gone. I'm not going to tell you where he went or what happened, but he just goes away. And then we follow someone else. And their storyline is nowhere near as interesting. That's my biggest issue with this movie, is that it has a complete bait and switch on the main character when I was already getting invested in their story, then immediately it's taken away. And then I have to follow another story that I'm not as invested in. And when I do start getting invested, the movie ends. So that's why doing movies like this are a little challenging, because, well, obviously, you gotta pull it off well. I thought the movie pulled it off fine. Could have been better? Yes, it could have been better. But I thought they did it fine. And another huge issue I have with this movie is, well, it wasn't as slow as I thought it would be. It's about as depressing as I thought it would be, which really puts you in a bad mood. This movie literally, like, every time something happy or hopeful happens, something else happens that makes that happy moment disappear and makes the movie even more dreadful to get through because of how sad it is. It is really freaking sad, and like this movie is like, oh gosh, like this is basically sadder than Lean on Pete. Seriously, this movie was tough to get through, and I understand why it's as sad as it is, but I felt it almost became comical with how sad this movie gets at times. Yeah. So yeah, this movie literally couldn't keep me happy for a second. Not one moment of the movie. Every time I started to feel happy, something else happened that would ruin it. And myself doesn't like being sad that much, so when a movie ruins my day, I get a little upset. The movie Paths of Glory did that, and that's why I don't like it. Alright, no, that's not the only reason why I don't like it. It's more of a personal reason, but yeah, we're not reviewing Paths of Glory today. I'll review it one day. I don't want to review it anytime soon. I want to rewatch it. Same with 2001: A Space Odyssey. I haven't reviewed much Kubrick films because I'm very mixed on them, but we're not talking about Kubrick. We're talking about Waves. Except Shining, Full Metal Jacket, Clockwork Orange. Those are the best. But okay, Waves. Any other negatives I have with Waves? No, not really. That's about it. All I can think of. Alright, so in conclusion, Waves is a very good movie. Highly downer. It's a high downer. This movie is so tears you down. So I wouldn't recommend it if you're dealing with like depression or anything, or if you're just having a bad day. I wouldn't really recommend this one. But if you're in the mood for watching a really well-made art house film that's really sad, go right ahead. I'm gonna give Waves a B- and is flawed but good. So if you've seen Waves, what did you think of it? And if you like this review, give it a like, and I will see you guys next time.